Hey Flower Tribe, it's Kelly Lehman from Cranbury Flower Farm, and today I want to show you some of my hydrangeas. And I want to thank those of you that have asked me to identify some of the hydrangeas here on the flower farm so that you can plant them in your own gardens. So I'm going to show you the who's who of hydrangeas here at Cranbury Flower Farm. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Click the bell notification so that you know whenever I post another fun free flower tip video. So let's dive right in, guys. These are my Nico Hydrangeas, and they're gorgeous, beautiful blue. This is the end of June in New Jersey. These beautiful flowers were set in place last season. So Nico Hydrangea flowers grow on what's called old wood, and this wooded stem was in place last summer. And these stems and these beautiful blooms were kind of set in place last season. So I make sure that I don't prune these Nico Hydrangea back in spring or late winter, because if I were to have pruned these back, I would have cut back all of these new blossoms that you're seeing now. So that's the Nico Hydrangea story and fun fact. And we're gonna take a walk over here now to my Annabelles. Come on, let's go. So these are my Annabelle Hydrangeas, and I love these gals too because they bloom on what's called new growth. So these gals came in on these stems that were put in place this spring. So it's okay to prune her back. A lot of people will prune back Annabelle Hydrangeas or Incredible Hydrangeas, which are very similar. They'll prune them back early spring or the end of winter to about 2 feet. And then they get these big, giant, colossal white flower heads that are larger than this. And I'll tell you why my flower heads aren't as large as if I would have pruned them back. I don't prune mine back, so that means I get a smaller, delicate head, but I have a stronger structure inside the plant of all these wooded stems that were put in place last year. And this means that when the rain hits my Annabelle Hydrangeas, they don't flap to the ground because the flower heads aren't quite as big and the stems are a little more sturdy. So you can either prune back an Annabelle if you want to get those bigger flower heads, or not and get the smaller flower heads but a little more sturdiness. So that's the story with Annabelle. And these guys are also going to dry out to a gorgeous green by the end of fall. And they make for a great dry cut flower. So keep that in mind with your Annabelle Hydrangea. They're a super no fuss, come back every year plant for me here at Cranbury Fields. So that's the Annabelle story. Come on, Lucy, we gotta go over to the Endless Summer now. Come on, girl. These gals are called Endless Summer, and I love Endless Summer because they come in on the old growth, just like the Nikos, like I just showed you. So they have like the wooded stems that were put in place last summer. Then they have the new growth that came in this spring, and then they bloomed in the summer. But once these gals have all kind of petered out, I get a second explosion of blooms from new growth, which comes in on these brand new stems that come in from the base, kind of like the Annabelles. So this is a terrific plant because you have 2 sets of blooms that give you an endless supply of flowers all summer long. So this is one of my top picks. And these guys are usually not too fussy. I have them planted in 6 hours of morning sun, and then they get afternoon shade, and I make sure they have enough water, but I make sure that I don't overwater. So you can check out some of our videos on watering and things like that. Endless Summer are the types of hydrangeas that you can change color. So if you change the alkalinity of the soil, you can kind of alter the color to either a blue or a purple or a pink. So that's kind of a fun fact for Endless Summer. There's some products that you can find in your garden stores that will alter the acidic level of your soil. And so they'll have blue flowers on the front of the package or pink flowers, and they pretty much tell you that you can get the blooms that color. But this is pretty much the hydrangeas that are similar to Endless Summer. You wouldn't be able to do that with an Annabelle. Those you can't alter. The Endless Summer you can. And then the last hydrangea that I want to tell you about is Limelight. And I love Limelight Hydrangea because they come back year after year. They love full sun, and they make for a beautiful dried cut flower in fall. And they just have oodles and oodles of blooms, and you don't have to worry too much about that winter kill. They come in on new growth, and they're just really low maintenance, and they're just a very dependable hydrangea to come back year after year. That's the story with the hydrangeas here at Cranbury Flower Farm. And if you have any questions or comments, please put them below. Please let me know where you're viewing this from, in this great big beautiful world. I love to see how our flower tribe is growing around the planet each week. It's so exciting. And I'll put a link to our Instagram and our Patreon page below. You can say hi over there, and I will see you in the next video.